Everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be another real versus fake, this time with the Beauty Killer palette by Jeffree Star. So I have the real one here from Jeffree Star's website, and I have the fake one here off AliExpress. So let's go ahead and compare the two. This one is $45 and the other one is $12.22 with free shipping. I paid the $5.95 shipping from Jeffree Star's website for the amazing palette, and there are a lot of differences, including one really funny one that you'll just have to keep on watching to figure out. So let's go ahead and get down to what the boxes and palettes look like.
I'm not afraid of...
Alright, you guys, so for the actual palette, I'm going to be doing a down shot so you can see everything perfectly clear, but for the boxes, I'm just going to go ahead and show them to you. Here are the Beauty Killer boxes that they both came in. So you can see that they're very similar. Very similar. The Jeffree Star actual box is the same size as the fake one, and the only difference with the front of the box is that this text that tells you how much product is in it and what it is, it says eyeshadow palette, are two different fonts. So I'm going to slide these over each other. You can see on the real one on top is a very light pink font, and then you can see this is a very white bold. Under here they say the same thing, but they are different. The only other difference on the box itself, they're both the same thing, but the text size on this area is a little bit smaller on the fake one, a little harder to read, more blurry on the words, and then the barcode size is different as well, but you know, it's a barcode. Next, let's go ahead and get to the actual palettes, and I will do some swatches for you, and then at the end we'll wrap it up and tell you what I think about the fake palette. Alright you guys, so these are the palettes. We have the real one on top and the fake one on bottom. You can see the fake one looks just like the real one. So the real one is a more pink, pretty color. This one's more of a dull, more of a lavender color. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but they're definitely two different colors. Next, we're going to talk about the title itself. The raised letters on the Beauty Killer palette are much higher than the raised letters on the fake one. The fake one is barely even and raised a tiny bit. This one is clearly raised letters. Next, we're going to flip it over. I'm going to show you that both of them has the same barcode on them. They look slightly different, but they both have the same code. Next, we're going to open up the palettes. And they both have this little mirror up top. And the mirrors look the same. So, taking this under here, this is what the eyeshadows look like. So as you can see, they're the same shades, kind of. The alignments of the actual Beauty Killer palette is perfect with the palette, and the eyeshadow slots, it fits perfectly in here. But with the fake one, it's all jank and uneven and crooked all over on the sides. Next, we're going to talk about the eyeshadow frame. So this one's very metallic and pretty. This one's more dull metallic, and they have completely different textures. This one's very smooth. This one's kind of like cheap feeling. Next, the titles of the shades. The Jeffree Star ones fit perfectly above each shadow like they're supposed to, and this is the shade Starpower, but the title's all the way down here and off kilter. So whereas it should be like right here, it's all the way down here. And it looks off. So all of these are off. All of these are perfectly aligned. Next, the biggest indicator for me is the most funny little thing. So we have the shade Rich Bitch right here on the real palette, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful. And then we have the shade Rice Bitch on this palette. So rice other than rich, I mean, it really says rice. And then we're going to swatch that one. So this is a swatch of the real one right here. Very buttery, a lot of pigment. And then this one has pigment, it's just kind of streaky and clearly not as good in quality. So the difference when it comes to the actual eyeshadow itself, they're very much more in place. So these are set perfectly in their tubes, well, squares, and then these are like deep in there, kind of low. So these kind of sit into the palette. This one sits like below it. Next, the indentions for the eyeshadows are completely different. These are very, very deeply embedded indents of the Jeffree Star logo, and these are like barely there. So you can see the difference on violence, because I haven't really used that shadow. And then this is this. This is completely unswatched. I have not touched these yet, other than Rice Bitch, which I just did. I've used these quite a lot. I've actually worn down China White quite a bit on this palette, but that's okay. So the indents are barely here for these, and these have like a really, really deep indent, which you don't want to mess up because it's so freaking pretty. I did clean up this palette, so I can see the streaks on it, but anyways. So I'm going to swatch Starpower on the real one. I'm going to swatch it on the fake one. I pressed down the same amount on both palettes. One is clearly more pigmented, which is the real one, and the fake one is just, the pigment isn't the same. Also, the formula are completely different. This one's more chalky, whereas this one's more buttery. Next, I'm going to swatch Princess, which is a super, super pretty pink color. Really pigmented and gorgeous. And then we have the fake one, which actually isn't that terrible. So this is the real one. And this is the fake one. It's not terrible. It's not as shiny as the real one itself, but not bad for that shadow. Next, we're going to swatch Violence. Violence is a really, really pretty purple plum color. Gorgeous. And then this is the fake Violence. The pigment is not the same, but it's a really nice color either way. So we've already swatched Rich Bitch and Rice Bitch, so I'm not going to do that one again. We're going to go ahead and go to Courtney, which is a really nice matte, like really good crease color. And then we're going to go down to Courtney down here. And the pigment just isn't really there on that one. Let's see if I can get it focused. Yeah. Next is Expensive. Expensive is such a pretty freaking color that I have not used, and I feel really bad about it. But I'm going to use it, I promise. So let's go ahead and swatch the real one. Really pretty, glittery, gorgeous color. And then we have the fake one. The pigment, I mean, it's the same freaking color, but the pigment just isn't there on the fake ones, and this glittery real one, oh, everything. Next is Confession, which I used a little bit on my eyeshadow today. I really love this color. It reminds me of a lot of Androgyny, the lipstick that he has. And let's go ahead and swatch Confession. Beautiful freaking color. Fake one, not that terrible. Pigment is still a lot stronger on the real one, but not terrible. Okay. Sorry, I'm just cleaning off fingers between each one. So Vanity is next, which is a really nice matte black steel gray kind of color. And then for the fake one, the fake one looks more brown. Okay. I'm going to swatch with the other hand now. This one's getting kind of, yeah. China White, which I freaking adore. Really matte, nice color. It blends over anything. And then we have the fake one, which is really, this one's really powdery feeling. The last shadow that we're swatching is one that kind of frightens me a little bit because it's so bold, is Black Rainbow. And then we have Black Rainbow down here. Oh. This one's absolutely freaking fantastic. Alright, anyways, these are the swatches, you guys. You can see the palettes for yourselves and how different they look. The biggest difference in this palette is Rich Bitch versus Rice Bitch. That is insanity. So let's go ahead and get into a review of both of these palettes. Alright, you guys, so that is the difference between a real and a fake Beauty Killer palette from Jeffree Star and AliExpress. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I didn't have to swatch all of the colors, but I felt like it was important because I know a lot of people are going to ask, hey, what about this shade? Does this shade work? Because that's the one I really want for the palette. And that's why I decided to show you all of the shades so you can form your own opinion on whether you want it or not. So thanks you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I put out 5 videos a week. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. Bye guys. Guys, this is the 11th video out of my Real versus Fake series, and I'm really excited to share these with you. I'm going to leave a link to my Real versus Fake playlist in the description box below, so never get scammed by a fake product, and I will see you guys on the next Real versus Fake.